Thanks for staying with the NCN 6 o'clock news. Citizens are being encouraged to maintain the development in their respective communities when investments are being made to improve it. This, among other issues, were highlighted by Agriculture Minister Robert Persaud at the Moblisa Community Celebration at the weekend. Here's our report.
Minister of Agriculture Robert Persaud has pointed out that persons are not realizing the importance in maintaining the development within their communities when government or any other organization makes significant investments. This issue was brought to the fore as the community of Moblisa saw the commissioning of a $40 million water system yesterday.
I want to encourage members of this community because you've been through some rough times. You've had periods in which you were unsure about the future, but now there's some certainty as to where you can go, and it's now up to you in ensuring that in this journey that you contribute towards the sustainability of these investments.
Also attending the event was Prime Minister Samuel Hinds. He commended the residents on the rebirth of their community, noting that there have been improvements.
There are signs that efforts are being made to restore Moblisa again and to take it to what was conceptualized, what was aimed for some decades ago.
In the meantime, Business Development Unit Manager of the Linden Advancement Program, Neil Fraser, has announced that yet another $40 million will be invested into a demonstration plot for the community.
The farm is geared to expose the residents and the farmers in the community to good agricultural practices, the whole host of good agricultural practices. More importantly, it also will be engaged in serious agricultural research.
LEAP has so far invested more than $100 million into the development of Moblisa, which is located 15 kilometers off the Linden-Suzaik Highway and 90 kilometers from Georgetown. Ernestine Jagnerine reporting for the NCN 6 o'clock news.
CARICOM officials are meeting with their Canadian counterparts in Trinidad for a two-day business forum discussion ahead of negotiations on a trade and development agreement with Canada. Currently, trade between CARICOM and Canada is governed by the CARIPCAN agreement, which allows goods from CARICOM to be exported into Canada on a non-reciprocal basis. The proposed agreement is expected to cover a range of areas, such as market access for agricultural goods, investment services, e-commerce, and trade facilitation. The meeting is organized by the Caribbean Association of Industry and Commerce, the Canadian High Commission, Caribbean Export Development Agency, and the Caribbean Regional Negotiating Machinery. The Health Ministry has successfully treated about 40,000 persons in Region 5 for filariasis and other worms in its quest to eliminate as a public health problem by 2012. The ministry is taking a direct aim on the elimination of LF and other kinds of worm infestation, especially among children. Natasha Smith has more.
In a statement from the Ministry of Health, it was revealed that in Guyana almost 20,000 persons are affected by this disease. The Health Ministry expects to treat 120,000 persons in the nationwide deworming program. More than 120 million people in the world live with LF, and over 40 million are suffering from debilitating conditions related to this. For this project, the Health Ministry is collaborating with several other government ministries, faith-based organizations, and international partners. The next region to benefit is Region 6, and all citizens except children under the age of 2 and pregnant or lactating women are expected to take the tablets. While there, volunteers will also assist persons with associated health issues and refer them to hospitals in the region for immediate attention. The highest rates of infections were in the rural and coastal areas of the country. However, according to the Health Ministry, the Deck Salt campaign has been very successful, and the survey has shown that LF has decreased. Though the Health Ministry signed on to a global obligation to eliminate LF by 2020, there is hope that in Guyana this will happen 8 years earlier, in 2012. The Health Ministry is calling on everyone to become involved and aid the fight to eliminate LF and other worms. Reporting for the 6 o'clock news, Natasha Smith.
The Public Utilities Commission is inviting members of the public to a hearing on Thursday, November 27 at the Regency Suites at 17 hours. This is in light of investigating the operations and performances of the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated. The discussion will also include the current continuous interruption in the supply of electricity and the issuance of prepaid meters. It has been highlighted that the public will be at liberty to ask questions and seek explanations from the GPL panel touching on the company's services. The National Parks Commission has opened a grand display of Guyana's national flower and the Schomburg Pavilion in the Botanical Gardens. The plan was developed 2 years ago and was approved by the board of the National Parks Commission, where the Victoria Riga lily will team up with a new component of the recreational facility to wow visitors. Here's more.
The project costs some $2.2 million and is a gift from a German pharmacist, Mr. Ulrich, who is a regular visitor to Guyana. He is of the view that this initiative will reaffirm the ties between Guyana and Germany. The works include dredging on a large existing pond and the subsequent planting of Guyana's national flower, the giant water lily.
It is particularly important that we note this because the Victoria Amazonica is also our national flower. And therefore it is not only honoring Schomburg, but we are honoring a magnificent plant that represents our national heritage.
And General Manager of the National Parks Commission, Yolanda Vasconcelos, says this will help to increase the number of visitors to the facility.
I encourage you and all Guyanese to be involved with our Botanic Gardens, to learn its history and to enjoy its delights, and to play your role in ensuring that we have and leave here unmistakable evidence that the Botanic Gardens is one of Guyana's best loved places.
She noted too that plans are on stream to make the site an educational one where research can be done. The National Parks Commission seemed pleased with the gesture since it helps in the Commission's strategic role in developing environmental education and Guyana's tourism sector. Reporting for the NCN 6 o'clock news, Adeli Ramprasad.
12 regional education ministers are meeting in Georgetown for the 17th COSAD meeting intended to evaluate the progress made in education over the last 10 years. At the launch of the two-day meeting, CARICOM Deputy Secretary General Lolita Applewhite said the region's survival depends on development of educated people. Here is Natasha Smith.
The Deputy Secretary General has urged regional governments to take advantage of the region's enormous intellectual capital. She has also highlighted the importance of a trained workforce in the region. Applewhite told the gathering that in light of the global financial crisis, it is imperative for countries to reorganize systems to cope with the situation.
The theme of this course accelerating the implementation of the education agenda, aptly reflects the recognition that education is and must continue to be pivotal in national and regional efforts to sustain and enhance productivity and economic growth, as well as social cohesion.
The acting chairman of the 17th COSAD, Bertram Joseph, is also the Minister of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture in Antigua, and in his address he said COSAD is a reminder that the enterprise for achieving objectives of CARICOM is by placing emphasis on human development.
It is clear that an education agenda crafted in this 21st century must take into account the diversity of the human experience. It must intersect with culture, the cultural industries, and entertainment to reach the widest cross-section of the population. It must engender tolerance of differences in religion, ethnicity, gender, and approaches.
The meeting will see discussions on the various aspects of education in the region with presentations on the Caribbean Examinations Council, Caribbean Vocation Qualification, Caribbean Knowledge Network of Learning, among others. The Council of Human and Social Development was established in 1997 and places people at the center of its developmental objectives. Reporting for the 6 o'clock news, Natasha Smith.